What's going on, everybody? This is Wes, aka DougieNMySnuggy. We're going to do something different today. What I'm going to do is take you through and show you how to flip some cards on the market and make some huge amounts of stubs just in your spare time when you're not playing the game. And the servers are trash right now. All the games are going to the queue. It's frustrating to try to play. So that's what I'm going to do right now is flip some cards, and I'm going to bring you along with me and show you how I do it and show you my thinking as I pick players. And I'm even got a little spreadsheet over here to show you how much profit I'm making on each one. So let's just jump right into it. Alright, here we go. The first thing you want to do when you go to start flipping cards is you either want to go to the community market on your MLB The Show 17 within the PlayStation, or I like to do it personally using their website because I think their website's really handy. And you can also do it from a bunch of various devices. You can do it from your computer, from your tablet, from your phone. You can do it while you're taking a dump, while you're laying in bed at night, while you're watching TV. It's a great hobby to have just to occupy yourself, especially while you're watching TV. If you sit there watching TV, you can get on the market and make stubs basically while you're not really doing anything. So the first thing you want to do is get into the community market. Now I'm going to do it through the website, but like I said before, you can do it through your PlayStation and inside the game. I just think the website's a little bit easier. So we'll go to theshownation.com. And if you're not already logged in, there should be a login button up here in the top right. And you can click on that and put in your PSN information and it will log you in. As you can see, I have 24,211 stubs. And to get to the community market, you go into this market menu and click on community market. Now once you're on the community market, you can go here and search for different cards. You can search by name. You can search for equipment. Some people like to flip equipment or sponsorships or something like that. I pretty much stick to the cards just because they seem to sell a little bit quicker. And right now with the amount of stubs that I have, the most that I would want to spend for a card is about 3,000 stubs. So I actually have a saved search up here I called it Flipadelphia. It's a little Sunny in Philadelphia reference. But it's basically my flip search. But all it is I went in here to the max price and I put in 3,000 stubs. Hit enter. And it's going to show me all the cards here that are 3,000 stubs or less. Now I like to ignore these flashbacks and things like that up here. So we'll just skip past those. We'll pretend those don't exist. But also you can save the search, and that's what I did. So once I did the 3,000, I clicked on save search and I called it Flipadelphia. That way I can just click on this every time. Takes me to the same thing. Oh, I did put live series on this search as well because I don't like to flip flashback cards. I just think they sell a little bit slower. Also, when I'm flipping cards, I try to avoid doing relief pictures unless they're popular relief pictures. So let's see if we can find us some guys to flip, and I'll show you why I would choose these guys and what you're wanting to look for. So basically, as you're going down this list, you're wanting to look at these buy now and sell now prices, and you're looking for cards that have a larger gap between the buy now and sell now price. For instance, let's take Salvador Perez for example here. He has about a little bit less than 350 stub difference between the buy now and sell now. So he's going to be one that we start out with. We're not going to make a whole lot on him. Even though there's like a 350 stub gap, they also take out 10% when you sell the card. It's a tax that they take out. I don't know why they put a tax on there, but they do. So if we bought him for this $1,473 price, if we bought him for $1,125 and then sold him for $1,473, let me show you in my handy dandy little spreadsheet over here. Let's put in $1,473 as the sell price, $1,125 as the buy price. As you can see, we'd have a 348 stub gross profit, but they would take out 147 stubs tax, leaving us with a net profit of 200 stubs. So let's see if we can flip Salvador Perez here. Let's create a buy order, and we're going to put in 1126 as our stub amount. And what we do is just put in a buy order for one stub more than the sell now price. Tell it we're not a robot. We're going to have to click on some trucks here. Verify it. Create buy order. Okay. We now have a buy order for Salvador Perez, and we're just waiting for somebody to sell him to us at that price. Now this little screen up here at the top shows you your most recent transactions, so hopefully we'll see Salvador Perez's name jump back up at the top here. Alright, so basically we're just going to wait until somebody sells us Salvador Perez at that price. And once they sell it to us, we're going to go immediately put in a sell order for him and try to sell him at a price higher than what we paid for and make a little bit of profit. And I'll show you how to do that assuming somebody sells him to us fairly quickly. But while we wait, we might as well go and look for somebody else to flip. So let's take a look at Steven Motts here. He has about a 535 stub gap in between his buy now and sell now, so he'd be a good example to work with right now. So we're going to create a buy order for him as well, and again we're putting in one stub above the sell now price when we create our buy order. These captchas are so annoying, but it is what it is. Click on the street signs, close enough. Right, now we have two different buy orders out there, and you can have up to 20 open orders at one time. Now my dog's getting a little crazy over back here in the background. You might be able to hear him, you might not. Go back and see if we can find somebody else. Oh, we just sold Will Myers. He was a flip that I did from earlier. Alright, so let's click back on our Flipadelphia. See if we can find us another order or another player. Again, I like to skip the relief pitchers unless they're a real popular relief pitcher, so we just scroll through them. Now we just sold Will Myers, so if we take a look at Will Myers now, we could actually do another flip on him. Looks like he's got about a 385 stub gap, and then when you sold him, they're going to take about 200 stubs in tax, so it would leave you about 185 stubs in profit. It's not a whole lot of profit, but it's good enough for the video right now, so let's create a buy order from him. So we're going to put in 1611, which is one stub above the sell now price, and it's not going to work because it didn't give me the little captcha thing. Sometimes the website breaks. Yeah, see, it's giving us an error. So let's try that again. Create buy order 1616, which is one stub above the sell now price. There we go. Now we got the I'm not a robot thing. Let's see, we're looking for storefronts. I guess these are storefronts. Close enough. Alright, so now we created a Will Myers buy order. Nobody has sold us anything yet, so we might as well just keep going, see if we can find somebody else. We just did Will Myers. See, Brandon Belt doesn't have a whole lot of difference between his buy now and sell now, so we'll just skip through him. Alex Cobb might be a good one here. He's a starting pitcher. We can try him. It's not a whole lot of stubs. There's not a whole lot of risk involved. So let's create a buy order for him. We'll do 554 stubs, which is one above the sell now. Tell it you're not a robot. Click on these storefronts. Create buy order. Easy peasy. Hopefully somebody starts selling us stuff soon. Not yet, so let's find somebody else. Again, you can have up to 20 open orders. Alright, we just did... Who did we just do? Alex Cobb. Kyle Bearclaw's a reliever. Rougned Odor. Let's do Rougned Odor. Because he's got about... what's that? 379. And then we're going to... Yeah, let's do Rougned Odor. So we're going to create a buy order. Again, we do 1212, which is one stub above sell now. Tell that you're not a robot. Look for the pillars or columns. I think that's all of them. Okay. Now we're going back to the community market, and still nobody has sold us anything. This might take a little while. Sometimes they sell it to you right away. Sometimes you got to wait a little bit. Sometimes they don't sell it to you that price at all. If you want to see if you forgot what orders you put in, which I do most often, you can go to this market menu up here and click on my orders. You can see we got 5 different sell orders now, or buy orders, I'm sorry. And basically what we're doing is waiting for somebody to sell these cards to us at this price. But while we wait, we got room for 15 more orders. See, we're only using 5 out of 20, so you might as well take advantage and see if we can find another person to flip. Wilson Ramos. He's got, what's that? 213 plus 55, like 268 minus 106. We'll do Wilson Ramos. We'll try him out. So we're going to create a buy order for Wilson Ramos. Put it at 788, which again is one stub above the buy now or the sell now price, and it's going to break. So it didn't give us. If it doesn't give you the robot thing, you might as well just go here. And I think it's because somebody's already put in a price higher than what it's showing is what when you don't get the robot thing. So let's try it again. Let's create a buy order. We're going to put it in 790 now, which is one above this sell now price. Click on the signs this time, and it makes you do the signs twice, which is aggravating. Create buy order, and we're done with him. Still nobody has sold us anything, so let's just keep searching. And this is what I do at night. Usually before I go to bed, I grab the laptop and just go through the market and try to flip some stuff. I usually try to keep 20 orders out there at one time, and I'll sit there and watch TV while I flip cards, and you can really make a lot of stubs, especially when you get a bunch of orders out there. Now you can flip bigger cards. I don't recommend you put all of your stubs into one card. Like you could go out, some people like to go out and buy diamonds and flip them. If you have a whole bunch of stubs, that would be great. But if you don't have a whole bunch of stubs, you're better off just doing a lot of different smaller deals. That way, if you lose some money or lose some stubs, you don't lose a lot. You're not putting all your eggs in one basket. You're pretty much diversifying your portfolio. Who else do we have here? What's JD Martinez look like? Well, let's take a look at Tyson Ross here. He's got about a 325 gap between his buy now and sell now. And then if we sold him at this price, it would take out 95 stubs and tax, which is just 10%. That's how I'm figuring this out. So let's try Tyson Ross. We're going to put in a buy order of 621. Telling it we're not a robot. Now we're looking for gas stations. Create buy order. Okay. We are now trying to buy Tyson Ross. Come on. Okay, we finally bought some. Here we go. So somebody sold us Salvador Perez for $11.26, and somebody sold us Wilson Ramos for $7.90. So once we see these buy orders go through, we want to immediately go and try to sell them. So let's click on Salvador Perez first. His buy now is $14.99, so we're going to put in a sell order for one stub less than that. So we're going to put in a sell order of $14.98. That way, if somebody goes and clicks buy now, we're going to be the guy that they're buying it from. Now we're putting in the storefronts. Tell it okay. Boom. Now we're waiting for somebody to buy it off of us. All right. When we do the same thing for Wilson Ramos, we paid $7.90 for him. He's selling for $10.99, so we're going to create a sell order for $10.98, which is one stub less. And looking for storefronts. Okay, and we are done there. Now we're done. A little bit slow. All right, somebody sold us Steven Motts too. So see now the orders are starting to go through, so we need to create a sell order for him. Right now he's selling for $28.40, so we're going to create a sell order for $28.39. Again, we're not a robot. When you do the signs, you got to do the signs twice for some reason. All right, so hopefully somebody will be buying these cards off of us pretty soon. We can show you how we made the profit. Haven't sold any of these three yet, but we're looking for one of these three to sell here in this video. But while we wait, let's go find somebody else to flip. I try not to do the same player more than once in a session. Like if I already have an order out for who did we just do? I've already forgot who I got out here. I think we just sold Wilson Ramos because he's not showing up in our list here. But say we've got order out for Steven Motts. I try not to put another order out for him until I've sold this one off. But let's go back to the main page. I'm pretty sure we just sold Wilson Ramos. We did. We sold him for $1,098. So let's go to our handy dandy little spreadsheet over here. And you can do this math in your head. You don't really have to have a spreadsheet. I don't use one normally. We paid $790 for him. So I'm going to type in $790, not $7,900. So you can see we made a gross profit of 308. They took 110 out in tax, and we made about 198 stubs just on that one flip. So that wasn't too bad. We didn't risk a whole lot of stubs, and we made 198 stubs out of it. All right, let's see if nothing else has happened. So let's find somebody else to flip. We'll see if we can get one more completed order before we end the video. All right, let's take a look at Carlos Gonzalez here. He has got about a 675 stub gap between the two. Now, if we sold him at this price, they would take out 300 stubs in tax, but it still leaves us about 300 stubs in profit. So let's see if we can buy Carlos Gonzalez. Again, we're going to put in a buy now price of one stub above the sell now price. Click on the stupid street signs. I guess these are count as street signs. Close enough. Boom. See if anything else has happened. Oh, we sold Steven Matz. There we go. So let's take a look and see how much we made on Steven Matz. We sold him for $28.39. We bought him for $23.16. So that's a 523 stub profit. They took out 284 of it in tax. So we made about 239 stubs profit. Not bad. So now what I normally do is when I actually successfully flip somebody and I made a few stubs, I'll go back and try to flip the same card again, assuming their price hasn't changed much. So I'm going to go put another buy order for Wilson Ramos and Steven Matz. So let's start with Steven Matz. He's still got a pretty decent little gap in between. So it's about 500 and... Actually, it's a little bit better than what we had before, just a few stubs better. So we're going to create another buy order. Put it for $23.11. We're not robots. Oh my God, what do I click here? Vehicles? There's 1,000 vehicles in this picture. I knew it. I knew it. I hate these CAPTCHA things. Okay, we got it. Alright, so now we got a buy order for Steven Matz. Let's do the same thing for Wilson Ramos. Because we've already sold him, we might as well try to do it again. The gap on Wilson Ramos is kind of closed a little bit, so it's really not worth doing at this point. You see his price has actually dropped a little bit, so there's only about 208 stub gap. You can still make a little bit of profit, but you're only going to make about 100 stubs. So I'm just going to skip out on Wilson Ramos. Let's see. Steven Matz is still the last thing we sold. This website, they really overhauled it. It wasn't nearly this easy to use back in MLB The Show 16. They've really done a good job with the community market on the website. And you don't have to do cards. You can go through and do equipment if you wanted to. Search for equipment. You can buy and sell equipment here if you wanted to. You can do sponsorships, stadiums, whatever you like to do. I just like to do the cards. I think they're more fun. And you just do it over and over. Once you get some stubs built up, you can go for some bigger cards, try to make some bigger flips, and bigger flips means more stubs. So let's go in and let's cancel all of our orders that we have open. I want to see how much money we actually made here. We still haven't sold Salvador Perez. Sometimes you might have to drop the price a little bit if it sits out here too long and doesn't sell. I'm going to leave it there though. Look here, we bought Steven Matz again, so let's go in and try to sell him before we leave. Create sell order. We're going to create it for $28.49. We're not a robot. All right. So now we are waiting for somebody to buy Steven Matz off of us. So let's take a look at our open orders. I canceled all my open buy orders because I was just going to do some for the video. Still waiting for somebody to buy Matz and somebody to buy Salvador Perez. But as you can see, we started the video at like 24,000 stubs. So right now we're showing 23,000 at the top, but we still haven't sold these two, and they're going to sell eventually. So that's another 32, what's that, 3,200? A little bit over 3,200, maybe 3,300 stubs that adds on top of that. So we'll call it 26,000 stubs that we're up to now. So we made probably, 2,000 stubs, maybe a little bit less just in this video, just showing you examples of how to do it. And it's something that we could have done while we watched TV or took a poop if we wanted to. I hope this video helped you out. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the comments. I'll try to help you out as much as possible. Again, this is just how I do it. I don't know if it's the best way to do it, but it has worked for me pretty well in the past, and it's worked for me pretty well so far this year. And if you're worried about this information getting out to the public, trust me, it's already out there. It's all over Reddit, and if you do some Google searches, it's easy to figure out how to flip cards. It's not like it's a industry secret or anything. Really, most people are just too lazy to do it. They'd rather just sell their cards as quick as possible and go buy packs. And that's the kind of people that we're making money off of, or making stubs off of. It's basically money. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. I'm going to keep pumping out these MLB The Show 17 videos. Sometimes the servers don't cooperate. It's getting a little frustrating at this point, but the game is great and I'm having a blast with it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed everything. I hope you enjoy all this content, and I really appreciate all the support. Thank you for 600 subscribers. And we went way past that point. Hell, we're looking at 700 pretty soon. So I really appreciate it, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out.